Hello, everybody. Welcome to Maximum Libertarian. I am Brian. I'm joined by the one and only
Dean, sitting here watching the garbage going around with the political campaigns again.
Real quick, Dean, what should an individual do if
go first off, click the like button,
right?
Subscribe, smash that like button. Don't just hit it gently. Make sure you smash it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Well, I guess today's topic is it's probably been run through the ringer quite a bit, but as you already see on the screen, I didn't even tease anything. But RFK Jr. suspends his presidential bid, and he endorsed Donald Trump. He then went to a rally and appeared with him, and got the fireworks and all that good stuff. What do you think about this, Dean?
Well, first off, it just seems like a huge scam. Let's be honest. RFK was running as a Democrat. He backed out because he couldn't handle that heat, so he became an independent. And now he is sitting there endorsing Trump, which is a Republican. But we got to remember also, Trump at some point was a Democrat. So, I mean, all these people play in the same pool. You know, Kamala swimming with Trump, is swimming with RFK. RFK will probably get a nice little job somewhere in Trump's cabinet if he gets elected, and that's where that'll go. So,
right. Well, the thing is,
even though Trump promised that he put a libertarian inside of the cabinet, but we'll see.
Right. That look, when President Trump came to the LNC, the LP National Convention, he was not searching for our endorsement. What he was looking for was at 11,000 votes. He was missing in Georgia and other states like that. And really what happened was, with the dysfunction inside the Libertarian Party, sadly, we have, he may have gotten it. Who knows? I realized after the assassination attempt, he was definitely a shoo-in, and then the Democrats did their wonkiness, which we can break it down real quick. Just by that, you're a former Democrat. We were talking to someone at the Apple Festival in Boone's Mill this past Saturday, and they were like, no Democrat would ever join the Libertarian Party. And I was like, no, there's a lot of Democrats that I know that have joined the party. And there's a lot of Republicans that have joined the party.
So here's how I would probably state that, Brian. I would say this. The current day Democrats, a lot of current day Democrats probably would not join the Libertarian Party. The Democrats that from my age, prior to 2008, I would say, anybody who was a Democrat prior to that probably, I would say, would probably be open to join the party. I joined the party in 2000, a little after 2008. I was, I think, closer to 12, but I was voting Libertarian in 2008. So you put that in perspective to the current day Democratic Party, which is really the Socialist Party. You're having less likely to be able to probably pull socialists over to the Libertarian Party, because there's not really there's a socialist wing of the party, but it's attached to the Democratic Socialist, that wing of the Democratic Socialists. So there's not very many. I mean, you're going to swing some Democrats, but I would say it probably was easier in the past than it is now. Republicans, it's easier to pull them because of our messages for small government. Because there's a lot of Republicans that are pissed off about the fact that the Republicans are not really small government anymore. That's how we pull people in.
The problem is sometimes I think what you get, though, is when people pretend to be small government and anti this group and anti that group. And when I'm saying that group, I'm talking specifically about like the Food and Drug Administration, the Department of Education, things to that nature. When rubber meets the road in the polling booth, the Republican will not. They still vote because they're so concerned about a guy that never did anything. He still, he ran up the deficit. I mean, there's good things about Trump, and I really did like his foreign policy for about as good as it can get, right? Because let's be honest, I think if a libertarian was to truly become president, he's not going to he or she is not going to be able just to truly be the libertarian that everyone wants him to be.
Correct. You have to work with everybody.
Right, because there's only certain things you can get done. I think that was one of the questions, and I wish I remember who said it, but it was like at a debate, don't say what are you going to do, but the question should be what can you get done? Because if you don't have the lawmakers, if it's like House of Delegates and the Senate or House of Representatives in the Senate, you're not getting nothing done.
You're right.
You don't have the right amount. You might not get it done either.
Lame duck.
What can you do? What will you be able to get through? Not what are you going to do? Because sure, I want to lower prices. I want to do this. So
then we look into the RFK thing. We look at what I pulled up the other day, which was a thing that shows that the Libertarian National Committee had sponsored an ad for RFK. Now that's
we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. That I don't want to jump off this because what I think really what we got to look at right now is RFK brought a lot of brand new people who were frustrated with the Republicans and the Democrats. He was reaching a group that we couldn't reach. Well, then when he immediately drops his campaign, all that time, look, if I give someone $1,000 for their campaign, I can get that $1,000 back. I don't want to have to lose that $1,000, but I can get it back. I can get my time back. But see, some of these folks were doing, rallies and, petitioning for Robert Kennedy. And now all of a sudden he's over there with Trump, who he's been saying is not that good of a guy. Have we lost them? That's where I'm curious. Is like, gentleman in Arizona, and I wish I could remember his name. It was Ortiz. The Republican was Blake Masters. The Libertarian ran all the way up to like a week or two out, and then he's like, "I'm dropping out. I endorse Blake Masters against Mark Kelly." Now Blake Masters lost, but for the Libertarian affiliates that had picked up possibly new members, they've just spent months and weeks, and they've given up their time, which is priceless. And so why are they ever going to help another Libertarian run? Why would anybody come out who helped RFK now go, I want to help that independent guy run, or someone that they would rather prefer? You know what they're going to do? Just like you see, like with the past 20 elections, besides 2020, NODA wins, which is none of the above. None of the above wins all the time. And last election, I think it was Biden got 34, NODA got 33, and Trump got 32. You know. So how are you going to really? So has this campaign actually helped destroy getting advocate or new members that even come with it? Is there going to be a ripple effect to us because they're going to be like, I helped this guy and he turned on you or turned on me. Why am I going to come over and help you?
Exactly right. And the problem is that's where the problem is. You either are going to get an influx of people coming to help you because our candidate is a left-leaning guy. So, Robert Kennedy was left-leaning, so you might get some to run over. But a lot of your people, like you said, are just going to run away from politics altogether and say, to heck with all this. And, and be done with it. Like we're shooting ourselves in the foot every single time. Our messaging, we went into that the last time, the messaging that we have as a party, our party specifically, I'm not going just to Robert Kennedy. If our messaging was a little better, we'd be able to pull these people a little easier. I don't see a whole lot being done to pull people either. I haven't seen much. I've seen one or thing put out by Chase, like one thing put out by Chase there needs to be a heavy pull to get all these people's information for RFK's run and try to get them to come over to the Libertarian Party. They have choices. They have Libertarian Party, they have the Green Party, and there's other parties. But I mean, they're the top two, third parties to go for, and both of them. Jill Stein's obviously the Green Party is more left leaning than any right leaning party, and you have the Libertarian Party who has a candidate who is left leaning. So you in this election, so you have the opportunity to pull these people, and we, I believe, as a party, are failing miserably to grab these people. And if we don't step up, we're going to lose all the people that we could get. And as we all know, it's not exactly going great with being able to put out our candidates' messaging when we don't have the opportunity to get our hands on things like materials, unless we buy them ourselves to get the stuff out to the public. So it's not as easy this time around to even get our information for the Libertarian Party out to people. So
right.
It's getting harder and harder when we have people like me and you who've been in this party well over 10 years, busting our asses to get somewhere where we're at this point having I don't know what's going on with the presidential campaign, but it's just, to me, it's not as, it has the ability to be one of the best ones we've had since Gary Johnson first time around, or 2016, I would say. I liked how he ran 2016, and we are dropping the ball miserably, and we will drop the ball until we start getting our messaging a little bit better and stop the infighting. We've talked about the infighting. Well, the infighting is costing us severely.
Oh, the infighting is horrible. But today we're talking about RFK Jr. and, so I wanted to talk about that. Like, how's that going to affect any of his volunteers? Are they going to just wash their hands? Once again, NOTA constantly wins. None of the above is always. So I want to reach out to the Republicans and the Democrats and the Green parties and all the supposed independents, but in reality, what I'm reaching for is the NOTA, the person who says, you know what, there's no one out there that I want. But if we don't get our message out there, that costs money. That's why people need to donate to the LP. That's why they need to go to the affiliates, go to your state and get active, and you can make it. Because if you're not active and we've got X dollars in the bank account, then your voice can't be heard. Yeah, you can, unless you're sending a lot of money, then your voice might get heard. But that's a whole nother story. I think what happened is when Trump, I remember there was a story, Donald Trump, his son, Jr., he said that when Trump got on, right before he got on that escalator in 2015, he said, today we find out who our friends are. And they went down. Now, up to 2015, Trump was loved through the rap community, through Hollywood, through the people of New York. They loved him. Yeah, he's a blowhard. I know there was dissenters and all that good stuff. I get it. But, he was loved. He was liked. And then we got on that. So RFK was identical to that when he was saying, I'm going to be announcing to run as an independent. And he laid out perfectly why anyone who is still supporting the Democrats, they've got blinders on. They shut down a primary when he could have challenged Joe Biden. They silenced his voice. Now they're suing him. They're suing Cornel West up, who just won, I believe, in Michigan. The Democrats, the Party of Democracy, said Cornel West couldn't be on there, and a judge said no, his name's got to be allowed to be placed on that ballot. And now Cornel West is only on 7 ballots across the state or across the United States. He has zero chance of winning. Unless there's a lot of writing, he's not winning nothing, But his family, his friends turned on him. So let's go right here. This is to the West Wing star gets personal in Cheryl Hines Takedown. Now, that granted, this is coming from the Daily Beast, but if you go down here and see the Twitter comment, hey, at Cheryl Hines, why to stay silent? Way to stay silent while your lunatic husband throws his support behind an adjudicated rapist who brags about stripping women of their fundamental rights. Gutsy. Great example for kids. Profiling courage. That's just one of the left-wing nutcases. Why can't RFK have a different opinion? Why can't you look if your family hates you because of who you're voting for? It's strict. I don't believe it's your politics. I think there's more to it. Am I wrong?
Not at all. There's got to be more to it.
Because why is it that this is the only time in history that now all of a sudden you vote for Donald Trump and you're fighting at the dinner table? I'm never talking to him if you voted for that person or if you voted for that person. We were at Apple Festival. There was the Democrats, us, the Libertarians, and the Republicans. The Republican old guy, which I told Eric, who was there helping, I said, he's one of them guys that even if I agreed with what he was saying, the way he was talking to people, I would not help him and I would not support him. I wouldn't even vote because he was just, but they were getting nasty with each other because they were having a disagreement on if Jesus was alive today, would he be a Democrat or a Republican, which is the stupidest debate to have.
From what I understand, you all were put together at the Apple Festival. The Democrats, Republicans, and the Libertarian tables were all put together.
We were. It was, which is fine, and
that was done purposely. I was to let you know that.
I've told everybody that would say, "Oh, the Republicans will get put beside you," and I said, "I don't care." I said, when it's Republican, Democrat, Libertarians, or Democrat, Libertarian, Republican, however, when a voter walks through the crowd, they see all three together. So in turn, we're all on the same playing field.
Exactly right.
You know, if you have me over in the corner, but the Republicans and Democrats are over on the other side together, I'm the bastard child. But if we're together, it's just that visually it gives people this belief that we're the same, you know?
Absolutely. It's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you can see through this article, the decision has been made to suspend my husband's, Robert Kennedy Jr.'s presidency, and I'd like to extend a sincere, deeply heartfelt thank you to every person who has worked tirelessly and lovingly on his campaign. Let's see. In 2022, Kennedy invoked Anne Frank's name and claiming that Jews were had more freedoms during the Holocaust than unvaccinated Americans. So here we go. They're going to use all these things to trash Mr. Kennedy in his beliefs. He's a whack job. He's this, he's that. Now, granted, there's a lot of things that me and Robert Kennedy would not agree on. His gun, I believe all gun control laws are unconstitutional. So I think all freedom of speech. I mean, I understand there's ways like speech. You can't touch speech. I'm sorry. I know people want to believe that you should be able to, but I'm not into it. So
not at all.
Let's see. Let's see, what else do we got in here? Oh, and then now, just like when Trump on the escalator saying, let's see who our friends are going to be. You had RFK. Let's see. His own family members come out and turn against him. Once again, like I said, if you have a family member running for president and he comes out and puts out point by point how the Democrats have screwed him. The party that he was in, that's his party. That's the Kennedy name and the Democrat Party are synonymous. They're tied together. But you're seeing the Democrat Party for the past 3 elections. Let's see this one, 2024, 2020, 2016. Oh, and 26, 2018. Yeah. Past 3 elections. Bernie Sanders was the choice. They said no, Hillary's the choice. Bernie Sanders was the choice in 2020. No, Joe Biden's the choice. Then this time it's all right. No one's voted for Kamala. No one likes her. Let's do a phone call with the delegates. We'll give her the nomination. So when we go to the convention, she's already got. We'll just do this dog and pony show.
Yep. Which was what it was.
It's like I asked this guy, and he was a Democrat. I'm like, aren't you upset that y'all held a primary? Y'all voted for a mentally challenged guy who's losing his mind, dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever, but you knew it. There was no one could honestly sit there and go, if anyone says, no, he was sharp as a tack all the way up till June of this month or this year. He ever since then, he's been sharp as a tack. If you really, you're lying to yourself, but they voted for him and he should be on the ballot. I think the Democrat Party in this state, the Commonwealth of Virginia, and in any state that they should have to pay back because they forced me, a taxpayer, to pay for their stupid primary. I don't think the Republicans should get my money, but they do. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But let's go down here and we can just see some of his siblings. And here's a joint statement against his. We want an America filled with hope and bound together by shared vision of a brighter future, a future defined by individual freedom, economic promise, and national pride. We believe in Harrison Walls. Our brother Bobby's decision to endorse Trump today is a betrayal of the values that our father and our family hold most dear. It is a sad ending to a sad story. And it's signed by the 5 children, I guess the brothers and sisters. They're idiots. There's no way you can really tell me that the Democrat Party is defined by individual freedom, economic promise, national pride. Come on. Are we going to lie to ourselves here, really?
They are.
Yeah. And so here's all the great people, never been surprised in my life, been less surprised in my life. Been saying it for over a year. JFK or RFK is for sale, works for Trump, bedfellows, and loving it. Kamala Harris is for the people, and the easiest decision of all time just got easier. The easiest decision of all time just got easier. I just can't believe what I mean. Once again, this is a family being torn apart for no reason.
Exactly.
And you think, like, if your brother got screwed over, and you can pinpoint it, it's not like it's like, I don't know, man. Like you can, I'll give you like it may have happened, it may not. I don't know. It's one of them. It's not even that. It's like it's happened. He just got screwed over. You just allowed it to happen.
Yep.
And now you're coming out saying, "Oh, Bobby did this, Bobby did that." Get the hell out of here.
Absolutely. It's so pathetic.
It is pathetic. And I think the Republican Party is pathetic too. That's why I would have liked to have seen Bobby and Nicole Shanahan, who I think, I was listening to Jason Stapleton. I used to listen to him all the time. The only reason I quit listening to him was because of he sold. It was more like his podcast was made up of him selling his books and things of that nature. But the thing is with I like the fact, like he made a comment once. He said, in the Fed is the right thing to do, but it's not selling.
Nope.
If that was the truth statement, even though it's the correct statement, we should easily get all of our, whenever we say we need help, people should be stepping up,
Yeah. And not just sitting
but,
back like they do.
but people don't care. And I liked how that Nicole Shannon and Bobby went after food freedom, like healthy food, clean water, the vaccines and stuff. And I'm not even anti-vaccines. I've had vaccines, but at the same time, it's okay to question things. I know it's not cool with YouTube and other organizations. They don't want you to have that discussion for some reason.
They were trying to hide that. What's his name? Fauci had West Nile. I don't know if you read that on the news the other day. Yeah.
When did he get that?
Sometime in the last couple of weeks. But it was it was up in one of the popular newspapers and news things. He had West Nile virus. The guy that was telling us all about vaccines, just
Well,
West
Nile. That's how you get it through mosquito bites.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's kind of hard. As long as the scientists don't try to make the mosquitoes that don't breed. Like I'm not real crazy about. A lot of times scientists will start doing stupid things to do tests, and it's like this isn't good. We need, as much as I know mosquitoes kill and stuff. Sometimes maybe we need mosquitoes for the environment. It's no different than like when the dipshits down in Florida and Louisiana and stuff, they would buy boa constrictors as pets, and then they get too big, and they're like, well, let's go down into the water, and then they go out there and eat they start changing the ecosystem. This is insanity here, I think, a little bit, but hey, who am I to say, right? But I think really what we should be saying is you go to votechaseoliver.com and you can find out how to help Chase Oliver. He's going to be on at least 48 states, I believe, because he's going to be on 2 write-ins, New York and Wisconsin, I believe. And your microphone's out. And I can't remember. I know he's on just them 2 states. And then like paperwork's been turned in for Virginia and Kentucky's getting worked on right now. So it looks like he's going to be on almost all the states. He's really only viable third-party option out there now. Hopefully, and I know we don't have a lot of time. I would like to see libertarians maybe start picking like they did in the old days, of picking them the year in advance. So that way our candidate could have been collected things. But Chase Oliver's a good guy. If he's here on the ballot here in Virginia, definitely he's got my support. And I'm really excited. I'm waiting to hear now from the State Board of Elections if he's on there.
Yep.
So, now that Mr. Kennedy has decided to jump, but it's okay that he ran. The problem is, I think what needs to be flagged is how these organizations have the quote unquote friends of someone, when they want to make a difference. When you get on that escalator, as Trump said, now we're going to find out who our friends are. And I guess Mr. Kennedy is finding out who his family and friends are. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dean has signed off, surprisingly. So it's only me and you. All right. So please click that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, like the video, share it with family and friends. That's the only way we can grow. You know what I'm saying? And until next time, my friends, my name is Brian. That was Dean, who's no longer here. And we will see you later. Until next time, that's the way she goes.